guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. And this story, guys, this guy's email will definitely be the video of the week. If you are catching this live, you are going to enjoy this very much for a Saturday night. This story is about a guy. He's 32 years old. He had been, that's the key word, past tense, with his girl for 4 years. They were all set to be married this coming November, so we're looking at like 2 months. And out of the blue, about a few weeks ago, because this is all recent, she suddenly sat him down and asked about having a, wait for it, open relationship 2 or 3 months before the wedding. And as you can imagine, the guy didn't like that very much. And one thing led to another, and let's just say he handled the situation like a boss. And guess what? He's no longer engaged. And she's been having a meltdown and all that ever since. But you're going to see here, guys, yet another example of how this, we're in Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. It's a mess, and how the gals can't be empowered nowadays unless they're getting it from every dude in town. Open relationships, open marriages don't work. And this guy, unlike a lot of guys that would just go along with this because they were afraid to lose the girl, he handled it just right. Now you're going to see, this guy is new to the channel. He's only been watching me for a few weeks. And how did he find the channel? Because when this girl, his fiance, ex-fiance, proposed this idea, he went to his bro, his best friend. His best friend watches the channel and showed this guy a bunch of videos on open marriages, open relationships, and it helped him come to reality real quick about the situation and what he had to do. It's great. So for all you guys that write in and share your stories and may wonder or question, will this help other guys or will it just be entertainment? You guys sharing your stories helps guys. It helps them getting in these really bad situations. So whoever, he's going to mention a story here, and whoever wrote that or the stories they watched saved him from agreeing to this bullshit, let alone marrying this broad. So these things really do help guys around the world. So you guys will really enjoy this, and wait to the end so you guys can congratulate him on how he handled it and give him some encouragement on his post-engagement life. He's going to need it. So, getting into it, you can see by the smile on my face and how I enthusiastically did this intro that I love this story, and so will you. Okay. He says, hello SSM. With the help from my best friend, I was recently turned on to your channel, and I want to send my thanks to you and your community. I didn't really want to share my story because now that I've seen some of your videos and read a lot of the comments, I can see how wrong I've been. My friend David convinced me to send it and saying that maybe my story could help some other guys out there. So here's me paying it forward. This is what happened to me a little less than a month ago. Well, bro, I thank you for joining the channel, and thank your bro David for introducing you. And yes, by you sharing your story, just like the other videos helped you, you will help somebody else down the road. Mark my words. It says, I guess I'm what you would call a nice guy, but I never really taken a lot of guff. I don't mind fighting as long as there's a reason to fight. Mostly, I avoid confrontations if I can. My friend David is the polar opposite of me. Quick to anger and action. We've been friends since the 2nd grade, and now we're both 32 years old. He's more of a brother than a friend, and I trust him with my life. That is awesome. Okay, he is as valuable as gold, and I hope you guys will be friends for life. This guy obviously has your back, and you really owe him. You need to take this dude out for many drinks and dinners for him helping you out in this situation. But you know what? A good friend would do it for free because he wants to see you do well and be happy. I've always been a relationship guy. Shocker. No offense, but shocker. You're a nice guy, so, yeah. Although I haven't had a lot of luck with relationships in general. When I think about it after seeing some of your videos, I can see that I was mostly a fool for thinking the way I did. I put entirely too much trust in women that didn't deserve it, and when the relationship ended, I typically thought it was because of something I wasn't doing. To date, I've been in 7 serious relationships, and 4 of them ended when I found they were cheating on me. It's amazing that you kept on doing relationships after that. A lot of guys get cheated on, badly burned once, and that's it. They're done. Looking back, the other 3 are probably cheating on me too, but I never caught them. It's hard to tell. My friend, on the other hand, has only been in 1 serious relationship after that one ended with his girlfriend of 3 years cheating on him. Something in him changed. He was still making the rounds at the clubs and seemed to have a lot of luck with the ladies, but he was treating them like a salad buffet and never took any of them seriously. He learned. He learned that they don't take us seriously, particularly nowadays. So why the hell should he take them seriously? They're entertainment, nothing more. And the sad thing is, that's becoming more and more the trend. Now, there are very, very rare exceptions out there with gals that actually have some traditional values, that you could actually do relationships with. But those numbers are becoming less and less with each passing day. And we all know who to thank for that. We all know what movement started this process that's been devolving our society for decades. We all know what movement that is. We'll call it the bowel movement. I can still remember back when we were around 24, 25, when I told him that someday a woman was going to take him off the market, and he laughed at me. He told me that he was never stupid enough to let a woman do that to him. He would hate himself. I figured he was just still angry about his last girlfriend and didn't think much about it until about a year ago when I noticed that he was still running the clubs with no thoughts of settling down. I asked him at the time if he was ever going to try and find a wife, and I can still remember feeling foolish when he laughed at the idea. He asked, why would I settle for one woman and all their BS when I can get what I want for free and do whatever I want without a lot of drama? Now, this guy obviously is a Chad. He likes to have his fun. Now, I'm hoping he's not hooking up with other dudes' girlfriends. I'm going to assume no there. But he's young, 32. Both you and your bro are in your prime. A man's prime really begins in his early 30s. A woman's prime ends in her late 20s, beginning at 30. The day will come that your bro here, who I definitely don't think is going to get married, will realize, you know what? I don't want to spend all my weekends in those clubs, and he's got enough ass in his life that he's going to want to spend more time doing his hobbies or pursuing goals or saving money. Because believe me, living the Chad lifestyle, you spend a lot of freaking money on these hoes. There, I actually said it. When he gets to his 40s, like my age, mid-40s, the priorities change. But I do remember the days in 20s and 30s when being a Chad, you want to be a Chad. He says, I was a little confused about his attitude, but generally he was a good guy, and from what I can tell, he wasn't a jerk. Yeah, he was a man's man, but he saw women for what they are nowadays. Not that they weren't always kind of like that. He was just having fun being single. That brings me to my own story. At the time, I'd been dating my ex-fiancée for about 3.5 years. We can call her Abby, although I would like to call her a few more things. Anyway, about a month ago, my life changed and many of the things David had told me concerning relationships finally made sense. About a month ago, Abby and I had been together for a little more than 4 years and engaged for about 3 months. Our wedding was planned for November of this year, but that's over now. So here we are, September 10th, and November is very soon. Up until a month ago, I had heard about all the RP stuff, but never really watched anything, even though David tried to get me to. In hindsight, I probably should have listened to him, but honestly, I thought it was just a bunch of angry guys. I know I'm a fool, but probably deserved all the crap I was getting out of the relationship. Oh, the stereotype that the community gets. Well, let's be fair, there are some angry dudes out there, but most are guys that just want to learn, that have been around the block and been burned and are trying to wise up, and amongst many other things. But that is the stereotype that the community gets. And I'm aware that there are different layers and parts of the community, if you will. Most people consider me middle of the road. And I think that's what I am. I'm the moderate of the community. A moderate. It says here, I guess having watching my parents being together and happy my entire life, I had some unrealistic expectations. Well, if your mom and dad had a healthy, happy, loving marriage, number one, that's rare. And number two, I'm happy for them and happy for you. Unfortunately, trying to get that nowadays, good fucking luck. It was a Sunday afternoon when Abby and I were working on some of our wedding plans, when she brought up the idea of, wait for it guys, opening our relationship. 3 months before the wedding, she's bringing up the idea of an open relationship. You're sitting there doing the seating arrangements for the fucking reception, and she brings up, oh, by the way, I'd like to get some sausage. Is that okay? At first, I thought she was joking, but she went on for about 20 minutes telling me how it would make us a better couple, and traditional marriages don't really work anymore. Then why the hell are you getting married? Well, I'll tell you why. because no offense, bro, no offense, she found her nice guy. She found the guy that, in her opinion, can be the rock, the safety net. But she still wanted to have her cake and eat it too. So she's with you, and in her mind, she can have her way with you. In her mind, you're wrapped around her finger, so the odds are she can get you to go along with this nonsense. Well, she's going to realize real quick that she was wrong, but that was her thinking. This is today's world. It's sad. It's ridiculous. And it sure as hell ain't empowerment. But that's the idea. She probably got this idea from some of her friends. I got to question what her friends are like. I think I was more shocked than anything, but it was clear that this was something that she wanted to do. Up until that point, I had heard about open relationships, but never given the idea much thought, and never in a million years did I expect to be having a conversation with a woman that I spent 4 years in a committed relationship with and due to be married in 3 months. Sadly, she's not who you thought she was. And Lord knows if there was any other activities going on behind your back. I hope not, but given, well, it's a strong possibility. You're done with her now, but I didn't know enough about any of it to even know how to respond, so I told her I need some time to think about it. Smack! If she's telling you that she wants to go hook up with other dudes while you're engaged or about to be married, it should be pretty obvious. You don't need to research it too much, brother. It means she wants to basically have permission to cheat. And that ain't wife material. That ain't even girlfriend material. That seemed to make her happy, and we let the topic drop for the time being. The rest of the day, we went about our weekend as usual, and she was acting like nothing had changed, but I couldn't get it out of my head. She's acting like nothing changed because she doesn't give a shit about you. Think about it. And in her mind, she knows she can get some sausage right away because if she's doing this, one of two things is going on. She either has dudes already ready to go, that she's ready to hook up with the second you give her your blessing, or she's already hooking up with them and basically wants permission to keep hooking up with them. That's what's going on. And she doesn't think that you're going to have it as easy getting gals as she is. It was after work on the following Monday that I stopped by David's apartment after work and talked to him about it. Thank God you have your bro David. At first he was as shocked as I was, but then he just had a sad look on his face. He asked me if I was going to be okay with my lady sleeping with other guys, and I immediately knew that it wasn't something I could deal with. No self-respecting man would. That was when he took me to his computer and introduced me to your channel. He pulled up a few videos that talked about open relationships, and none of them made the idea sound very good to me. But it was the last one he showed me that really hit home. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about a couple that were married, and the wife brought up the idea and spent some time selling it to her husband. That made me think about how Abby was selling it to me. Then the husband pulled out his phone and made a date right in front of his wife, and she lost it. Oh, I most certainly remember that story. In fact, that story is highlighted on the channel because it was so popular. That dude handled it like a boss. And guys, you're going to see this guy handles this situation like a boss. Then he told her he was divorcing her the next day. It was something that was said in the video that cut me through me like a knife. It was something about if they are bringing up the topic, it was because they were already sleeping with someone else or they knew who they were going to sleep with. Yes, that's exactly it. I'm not going to lie, that one hurt. I thought I had a solid relationship with Abby, and then out of the blue, she brought up the idea a few months before we were going to be married. Bro, I'm sorry. Seriously, I am. I'm sorry that happened to you. But at least, if you could look for the silver lining in the situation, at least this happened before you got married. Before it became a legal contract. Because she could have brought this up later on. You were then married, and then you'd have a problem. Particularly depending on where you live. If she was bringing it up, I couldn't think of any other reason why after so long she'd want to change our relationship unless she was already cheating on me, and I was devastated. I think I stayed at David's house talking for about 3 hours before I went home. Abby had texted me a few times asking where I was, but I ignored the text. I just needed some time to think. On my ride home, I called my dad and asked his opinion, and he basically told me the same thing that David did. She was already cheating and looking for permission after the fact. After hanging out with my dad, I tried to come up with an alternative than what David and my dad had said, but I couldn't lie to myself. Regardless of why she was asking, she was telling me that she wanted to sleep with other guys while keeping me around to pay the bills. That is exactly it. And I'm sure that was a very hard thing to accept, that you were that guy they were with to pay the bills so she could go have her fun with Chatter Tyrone. I said before that I'm not very confrontational, but I don't mind fighting if the fight needs to be had. When I got home, Abby was watching TV and asked, how was my day? I told her I was thinking about her idea of the open relationship, and she said it would probably be for the best. Well, hang on. And said it would probably be for the best. So you're saying this. You can't imagine how much it hurt to see the look of joy on her face. Yeah, she's thinking about all that sausage that she's going to have now. She was really happy, and it made me feel sick. She said that we need to talk about the rules and boundaries, and she said she didn't want to do anything to ruin our relationship. Well, that's the quote of the day. She doesn't want to do anything to ruin the relationship. By her bringing this up and requesting this is ruining the relationship. And what she's been doing prior to asking this is ruining the relationship. And I guarantee all her friends know about this. And I guarantee her friends probably think it's a good idea. Maybe some of them do the same thing. I honestly felt like I was talking to a crazy person. Yeah. When I sat down, I'm not sure if it was what I heard from the videos or from David and my dad, but I couldn't keep the question off my lips. I asked her who he was. She looked at me a bit confused and asked who I was talking about. I asked her who was the guy she was sleeping with or already talking to, and she looked shocked. Another Oscar-worthy actress here. She was swearing that there wasn't anyone else, but I couldn't believe that this idea just came out of nowhere. It did not come out of nowhere. I told her that if I was going to entertain an idea like this, that was going to be based on honesty. I told her that if she couldn't tell me the truth, and there was no way I would agree to that kind of arrangement. Smart, brother. Then I told her there were a couple of ladies that I work with I would love to spend time with me, and that seemed to shock her even more. And you know what? I bet you could. This is a lot like that other story, and I'm glad you watched that video. She was quiet for a few minutes before she admitted that there was a guy at her job that she wanted to spend some time with, but was swearing that nothing physical had happened, and I was crushed. The odds are probably she was hooking up with that dude, but the point is, what I said in the beginning, there's one of two things. Either she's hooking up with a dude, or she already has a dude or dudes, multiple dudes lined up. So there you go, right then and there. Yeah, she loves you so much to marry you and be your wife, but she's thinking about other dudes to hook up with. Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. Oh, this girl is about to learn a major, major harsh lesson. And so will all the other girls that she tells this story to. I think we both sat in silence for about 5 minutes before I told her, okay, you want an open relationship? That's what I'll give you. And she smiled, and I said, we should talk about the rules. I told her, I'm going to need that engagement ring back. I'm not sure if that was what she was expecting, but the blood looked like it drained from her face, and she was looking at me like with an open mouth shock. She asked what I was talking about. I told her that we had an open relationship before we started dating monogamously, and since that's what she wanted, that's what I was giving her. I told her the engagement was over and that I would never accept marrying a woman that was cheating on me or wanted to sleep with other men. Yeah, brother. All around the world right now, there are dudes cheering. In England, Ireland, Scotland, Brazil, Japan, South Korea, Oklahoma. Guys are cheering for you. Good job. So, he says, I could go on another 3 to 4 pages of the chaos that erupted in my living room, but the summary is that I got the ring back and told her she had 30 days to move out. Again, awesome, brother. She wasn't on the lease, but I couldn't just kick her out due to tenant laws. She tried to backtrack on the idea, but it was over. I have no idea if she was already sleeping with someone else, but her admission that she was already talking to someone and felt confident enough to even propose the idea was enough to tell me that if she wasn't already cheating, she would be soon enough. You're darn right. As much as we're celebrating the way you handle this, again, I'm sorry you went through this shit. A good man like you shouldn't have to go through this, but you handled it great. I'm so proud of you. So that was a little more than a month ago, and she finally got moved out 2 weeks ago. She was still swearing that she never did anything with her coworker, but at this point, I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The second they bring this open relationship up, it is over. And a few months before the freaking wedding? Talk about a pair on her. She wasted 4 years of my life, and I can't take that back. I'm still pretty messed up about everything, but I think the idea of ever getting married or even getting into a committed relationship again is off the table. Bro, nobody can blame you. And if anybody ever tells you, pulls that crap like you're bitter or who hurt you or some bullshit like that, all you have to say is, okay, here's the situation. Imagine this. Well, actually, I'm going to backtrack. You don't owe anybody a fucking reason. You don't owe anybody an explanation. But if you felt inclined, all you have to do is explain your history, and that will tell anybody what they need to know. I spent the last 2 weeks binge watching your videos and reading all the RP content I can find, and I can see how weak I've been. David has been my rock, and I've gone out a few times with him. Seeing these women in the clubs, it's clear they are just out for fun. My parents are pretty sad that my relationship ended the way it did, and Abby's parents are furious with her. At first, she tried to tell them that I just broke up with her for no reason, but I told her dad everything, and I think he's more pissed off than I was. Good. He's probably like, this is my daughter? I didn't raise you to be this way. Good. And no shit, no surprise. She just, well, he broke up with me. I don't know why. Not my fault. No accountability. For now, I think I'm going to spend some time trying to figure out where I want my life to go, and David is trying to keep me looking forward. So that's my story. I owe a round of thanks to you and your community, as well as a round of apologies for not understanding what the RP community is really about. Even though my story didn't end the way I was hoping for, I think you all saved me from years of future pain. Bro, that was a great story. And you know what? It ain't over. You're 32. In my opinion, you're a freaking baby. You're just getting started. Your prime has just begun. Okay? I'd love to be 32 and have the knowledge I have now. I'd love to be where I am now 12 years ago. But I can't rewind time. I don't have the DeLorean. I can't go back in time. So it is what it is. You're 32. And as horrible as all the cheating you had in previous relationships and what you went through right now, and you wasted 4 years' life with her, number one, count the silver lining to this is that you found out this happened before you got married. Okay, thank God for that. You got your whole life ahead of you, and you've gained a hell of a lot of knowledge. And you're going to something tells me you're going to immerse yourself in this material, not just my channel, but other channels, and educating yourself on this subject, on reality and how things are. And that is you'll be armed and dangerous for this crazy new effed up Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world. And the sky's the limit. So what I'll be doing right now is take it one day at a time. Healing. Hanging out with your bro David, hanging out with your other friends, spend time with your family. I want you to start focusing on you. I want you to put all your goals and wants, make it your top priority. You're a single man now. You're a bachelor. Look how close you were to marrying that harpy, right? You're free. Your life is whatever you want to make it. So whatever you're doing for a career, you didn't mention that, I want you to be the best you can be and move it up in that career. Or maybe you one day had an idea about starting a business. Well, do what you can and maybe one day get that business started. I want you to join a gym if you don't have a membership already. Exercise. Get yourself in really good shape. Travel. See the world. Make money. Save money. Whatever you got to do. Make the life... Whatever you want your life to be, you can make it happen. It may take time, but it can. And do not, under any circumstances, make the same mistakes you made in the past. I would not advise marriage in today's world, especially after what you've been through, so I don't think I'd have to twist your arm in that direction. I'd avoid all relationships for a very long time. And I'm sure you probably don't even want to look at women right now. But if you are indeed a relationship guy, take your time. Really learn about things about yourself that have caused you to have problems in the past. I want you to be reborn hard, just like your buddy David. And when it comes to the women, remember the lessons I teach in this channel. You put yourself first. I'm sure many times you put other girlfriends' wants and needs first. You put yourself first going forward. No more of this nice guy shit. The nice guys finish last. It's always the same story. When you eventually do relationships or even dating, you always check the girl on her BS, okay? You don't kiss their butt. You don't treat them like the queen because they're not a bunch of queens. You see those girls out there at the clubs with your buddy David and they just want to party and screw around. Yeah, treat them exactly as they are, okay? Now, does this mean that every single gal out there is like your ex or exes or those gals at the clubs? No, but it's a ever increasing larger percentage of the population. There are some good ones out there, but they are hard to find. And I hope that one day you will, if you indeed are a relationship guy down the road. I don't know. But it's hard and it's difficult. They're more traditional. They're more conservative. You probably thought you found one just like that with your ex, Abby. So only time will tell. But right now, you need to focus on you, on your grind, your purposing. And you spent 4 years with her. You were engaged to her. I can't imagine the embarrassment you had to deal with explaining why the wedding ended. Obviously, people are going to wonder. But it is what it is. Take it one day at a time, and you will heal. You will get over her, and do not, in any circumstances, have any contact with her ever again. She's moved out. There's no reason to talk to her, because I guarantee you she's going to try to reach out to you at some point. She moved out, you said, just 2 weeks ago. You're going to hear from her. She's going to try to get a second chance out of you, because in her perception of you is that she thought you were a nice enough guy to open up the marriage or relationship. Well, she's going to think you're nice enough to take her back. Do not take her back under any circumstances. You're going to have moments of weakness. You're going to have moments you're going to second guess or feel lonely. I don't know what. If you ever feel that way, start watching my videos. Call your bro David. David will not let you go down the dark path again. And in time, you'll heal and you'll be all right. But your story here, and I'm grateful you shared it, aside from being great Saturday night entertainment for guys who are going to watch this tonight, and I'm making sure I publish this tonight. You sent me this email today. It just happened to come in when I was getting ready to film videos, and I read it. I was like, oh shit, I'm doing this one today. And I know you need this because it's fresh and new, so I'm bumping you up to help you. Your story here will help other dudes out there. So you are paying it forward, just like the dude story you watched helped you. And hopefully one day, some other dude will write in, and he'll write in about how he watched your video and your story, and you saved him. That's all we can do, guys. Help each other out. One new subscriber at a time. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below and let this guy know what you think about this. Give this guy some support. He's going to need this. He's going to struggle. Let him have some words of encouragement, because it will definitely help him. And also, guys, if you got a great story you'd like to share as well, just like this dude, by all means, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will if it works for the channel. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.